What's up guys, today we are going to be talking about how to play Rated Battlegrounds as Feral Druid, things you should expect, things you should and shouldn't do, and what your typical role is going to be depending on the map that you guys get. So if you're new to Rated Battlegrounds or haven't played as Feral Druid in them before, this should be a quick rundown of what you should expect and what you should be prepared for. So first thing we're going to go over is what your role is going to look like most likely on 3 of the main maps, Arathi Basin, Deepwind Gorge, and Eye of the Storm. Typically on these maps, it doesn't matter if you're playing on the Horde or Alliance side, if you don't have a Hunter or a Rogue, and sometimes even if you do, you're probably going to end up being a base sitter. So what does that mean? That means it's going to be your job to sit there by yourself at one of the bases and hold it, defend it, spin the flag, and keep racking up points for your team. So if it is your job to be a base sitter, you're going to want to make sure you set up your talents accordingly. So just communicate with whoever your RBG leader is, and they should let you know right away if you're going to be sitting at a base or in the team fight. If you are going to be sitting in a base, these are the PvP talents that I typically would use. Use Thorns, just in case a rogue runs up on you, you need that little extra advantage. Typically I'll either run Ferocious Wound or Wicked Claws, and you're going to want to make sure you have Strength of the Wild for the extra survivability. Now depending on the map you're on and the base that you're protecting, there's going to be a couple different places you either will or will not want to sit. To go ahead and give you guys an idea of what your positioning should look like, let's take a look at the Gold Mine in Arathi Basin. So what you're going to want to do is you're not going to want to sit somewhere super obvious or somewhere that's too close to the flag. These 2 locations are the 2 locations that I would typically sit around. Personally, I like to run back and forth and grab whatever the buff is too, just in case, so nobody can grab it and get an advantage on me. But these are the 2 areas that I would normally stay at. I'm close enough to see the flag to hit it with the Moonfire or to leap if I wanted to. But I'm far enough away that if I get found by a rogue, I can't get sapped and then have them cap the flag while I'm sitting in a sap. And if you do get sapped, don't trinket it, you'll get blinded, and then they're just going to cap in your face anyways.
If you're doing it, stop it.
But that is the exact reason you don't want to sit here. Sitting too close to the flag gives somebody an opportunity to hit you with the CC and go ahead and cap the flag while you're CC'd. So make sure you give yourself enough room to keep some distance on the flag, make sure that they can't hit you with a quick cap. Also, while you are there, once that fight does start happening, if someone shows up, because they're going to show up eventually, make sure you communicate with your team, and then it's going to be your job to spin the flag. Do this whatever way you need to. If you want to stay in cap form, if you want to dance around in bear form, it's going to be whatever you need to do based on the situation, but make sure you're just stopping them from capping the flag. You don't have to get into a full one-on-one with whoever's there. You can really just run around in circles and hit them with a Moonfire and go back in bear form constantly. It's really up to you. Eventually your team's going to show up and help you, and you'll be good to go. And just remember, if you are sitting at one of these bases and you haven't done Rated Battlegrounds before, you do actually need to click the flag in Rated Battlegrounds. You don't just stand on it and control it over time like you do in the regular Battlegrounds. There are some times when they'll pull you off of a base and have you kind of go be an offensive roamer, send you off by yourself to try to cap a base or distract on a base. When you do this, the 3 classes you're most likely to run into that are sitting at a base are typically either going to be a Hunter, Rogue, or a Druid. Sometimes you'll get another tank, but for the most part, that's what I see. In these situations, just remember, it takes 8 seconds to cap a flag. The only CC that you really have that can keep someone away from you for that long is Entangling Roots, but most people have a ranged ability, or Hibernate if it's a Druid. Anything else, what you're going to want to do is fight them a little bit, try to get them to blow their trinket, see if you can catch them out of position with a clone or a roots or something where they're far enough away that you can try to get a cap on the flag, but most likely you're just going to be standing there distracting them, trying to keep them busy. If it is a Druid, wait till they get into bear form or cap form to try to do something to you, try to stun them, hit them with the Hibernate, something like that. If you do get the Hibernate off and they've already used their trinket, you can just go ahead and cap the flag right in their face. It's really disrespectful and feels great. And that's pretty much what your role is going to be if you're on any of these maps. If you do end up being lucky and ending up in the team fight, you can change your talents accordingly, go out there and do some damage. Moving on to the flag carrying maps. Warsong Gulch and Twin Peaks are going to be the 2 flag carrying maps that you're going to end up doing. If you don't have a rogue, you might be the one stuck with the position of slowing their flag carrier. You're going to sit around in your own base in stealth, wait for them to show up. You're just going to stun them, you're going to root them, you're going to clone them, you're going to do everything annoying to just make sure that they can't get too far away from you. And if they do hit you with the CC and try to run away, use your sprints, use your mobility, use your travel form to get close to them again, continue to slow them down and just kind of be annoying. If you have a rogue and they end up being the one in this role, then typically you'll just run around with the offensive group, help kill the enemy flag carrier once they get into their own base, fight in the middle with your team, and do as much damage as you can. If you do end up in that offensive position and you're trying to do burst damage on an enemy flag carrier, be smart about it. Get yourself 5 combo points, big Ferocious Bite, Feral Frenzy, Ferocious Bite again, and then hit him with a Convoke. Usually between all those abilities and your other teammates helping you out, should be able to get a kill pretty quickly. For the remainder of the maps, Silver Shard Mines, Temple of Katmagu, Battle for Gilneas, and Seething Shore, it's really just a cluster. And these maps, since there's less objectives, typically the tank will be the one going off on a base by their own, sometimes with one extra healer. So you'll be in the team fight the majority of the time. Best things you're going to want to do, obviously do as much damage as you can, get interrupts off when you can, but also use your survivability and your mobility to stay alive for as long as you can, help your healers out, help win team fights. And there you have it, guys. That is all of the maps that you're going to run into, what your typical role might look like, and the bare bones basics of what you should know going into each battleground. Couple more general tips before we get out of here. Number 1, be conscious of the stun DR on your target caller's targets. So if you are in the offensive group, listen to your target caller, go ahead and hit whoever they call. Don't waste combo points on a maim if the target already got stunned twice, because the DR is going to be so high that it's not even worth it. Just do as much damage as you can. Number 2, coordinate your cooldowns in team fights. As much as it is about you, it's also about the team. Listen to your target caller, listen to the cooldowns that are being used. Use your stuff at the right times to the best of your ability. Number 3, help your healers out. As a Feral Druid, you have a ton of survivability. You have instant heals, not only for yourself, but for your teammates as well. Keep an eye on what's going on. Listen to your healers' calls. If they need help, go ahead and off heal, shoot a Convoke heal, do whatever you need to do to help keep your team alive and win that fight. Also, being front of the line melee as Leather, you're going to take a lot more damage than most people if you're sitting there in cap form. So make sure to shift into bear instantly if you start getting focused, and use the defensive cooldowns that you need to stay alive and not make it impossible on your healers to keep you up. And there you have it, guys. There are the basics of doing rated battlegrounds as a Feral Druid in Shadowlands 9.1. Hope this helped you guys out. Leave a like, leave a comment down below, and let me know if it did. Good luck out there chasing rating. Keep having fun.